Hey, good morning. It's Rupesh. And I've kind of branded this thing this way with Hospitality Live with Rupesh. What do you guys think about this? Let me know. So last week I was in Michigan and went through a family wedding. It was awesome. Had a great time. Stayed at some two beautiful hotels. Had a great time. And now I am back home in Orlando, Florida. And I am super excited to continue sharing my ideas, strategies, bringing people on. Guys, let us know where you're listening and watching this from, because I love hearing people like that are from just all over the place. Make sure we're live and we're connected and we are good to go. Guys, thank you so much for joining us again. This is episode number 15. 15, I can't believe we've gotten this far, and I'm going to continue this. If you guys like this, if you like this platform every Wednesday, I'm going to continue doing this. Shout out to Glenn Hausman. He did a podcast yesterday, or a LinkedIn Live yesterday, and brought Anthony Melchiori on. If you didn't catch it, definitely go to Glenn Hausman's live post on his Insta or on his LinkedIn platform or profile, and check it out there because it was awesome. He brought on Anthony Melchiori, and it was super amazing to see that. And I'm happy that we're all just connecting and growing, right? It's about making everybody else grow too with you while you grow. So I love that idea. And guys, today, by the way, this episode, number 15, is sponsored by Travel, what is it, right here? Travel Media Group. They help hotels do digital marketing. So if you need reviews, if you are looking to improve your social, which we're going to talk about today, hit up Travel Media Guide or Travel Media Group. Sponsoring Travel Media Group, and let's move on with the show. Guys, today I'm super excited about this topic because it's been super helpful for me. I've learned so much, and I've been doing this for, I think, 7 or 8, maybe 10 years now, actually, on social media. As soon as Facebook came out, I was on it. Actually, I lied. My sister told me in 2006 or 7, she's like, hey, you should get on this thing called Facebook. Everybody's on it. And I was like, I'm not going to get on it. It's probably just some site that people are just, it's like probably like Friendster or one of those sites. And I was like, I'm already on Friendster. I'm already on the other channel, right? And I never thought about how helpful it would be. And so a year later, after my sister kept sending me requests to join Facebook, I finally did. And now there's so many different websites and social media sites that are out there that you really can connect the entire world to what you're doing and share your ideas. And that's what I've been doing here on LinkedIn. So social is a super helpful platform. By the way, guys, I used Instagram about 3 years ago, and in 4 months made $500,000 just off of Instagram on this product I was selling. So I also do importing from China, basically, and create my own brands and all these other things that I do on the side as my passion because I love marketing. And yeah, I made $500,000 in about 4 months. This is gross, and it was awesome. It was all through Instagram marketing. That's social media, which is awesome, right? And anybody can do this. You can learn this. And I just learned this process through a bunch of podcasts and a bunch of online people like Neil Patel. You should definitely hit him up at neilpatel.com. Eric Sue, they have a podcast called Marketing School. .io. Definitely check them out. But I learned all of this not through because I was born with it, but I learned it through education, through different education, reading articles, listening, watching videos, right? It's social is all over the place, and you could too. So today we have Jason Lee on. And by the way, don't forget to hit, let us know where you're listening from. In the comments, write down where you're listening from. Good morning, Chris, Sagar, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know where you're watching this from because it's super helpful, and we continue doing this, right? There's 46 people on right now, 45. Please, for those 45 people, let us know exactly where, comment right now on where you're watching this from. City, state, your company. If you're with a hotel, let us know which hotel you're with. And guys, I'm I'm not going to do anything else. Let's go ahead and bring on Jason Lee. Jason Lee is the Vice President of Product and Development and Technology for Travel Media Group. And by the way, I am a brand advocate for this. So this past May, they said, hey, you do a great job at social media. We want to bring you on and help promote our products. And so I'm letting you guys know that Jason, they're not paying to be on here, but they are a sponsor of our show. They've been a sponsor for the last couple of episodes, and they're going to do a few more. So I am a brand advocate for them. I use their products. I love what they do, and it's helped my hotel. So we'll talk more about that later. Let's bring on Jason. Jason, welcome.
Hello. Hello, Rupesh.
How are you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Hey, so Jason and I connected a couple years ago, right? We've known each other for quite some time, and I think we connected over the love of pizza. Is that true?
That is true. You opened up a whole world of me making my own pizza, which I had not done previously. And like, I didn't know that you had to have a special kind of flour, for example. And you opened up a whole new world of pizza possibilities for me. And now, now I have pizza all the time. So
I'm sorry, because your wife's probably gonna your family's probably like, what are you doing with all this dough?
Yeah.
So here's my story. 10 years ago, I started learning how to make pizza, and I would just make dough, not even use it, but store it, like stuff it up in my refrigerator for overnight or 2 days. And my wife would be like, what are you doing? Like with all these pots and pans all over the house and all over my kitchen, and try to perfect this pizza. And a few years ago, like I think 4 or 5 years ago, I actually perfected it. And I have this recipe that I've been sharing, and I think I shared it with you. And I said, listen, I buy 15-pound bags of flour, of pizza flour, a 00 pizza flour. I said, Jason, have you ever tried Caputo pizza flour? And he's like, no. I was like, let's meet somewhere. I'm gonna give you a couple bags, and that's what.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of it's a crazy thing too, Rupesh, because. Yeah. Well, it was crazy because I met you at a Wawa and you handed me a big bag of white powder and gave it to me, but it was pizza flour in the parking lot of the Wawa. That's fine.
That's so funny because you sent me a message like the weekend after or that week after, and you were like, it was awesome. You've changed my life.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Which I love, right? So, all right, let's get into social media. This is what you guys do. This is what Travel Media Group does. You guys do social media. You do reviews. You guys do a bunch of things, advertising. But you focus on social, which I love, and it's benefited me and hotels in general. You guys do thousands of hotels, right? Jason, how did you get into this? Like, let us know. How did you get into like the whole development and being the vice president right at your company?
Yeah, so
you're in the hotel space.
Yeah, I started in the hotel business. So I started as a relief night auditor at a hotel back in the 90s. Worked my way into being a general manager. Worked my way into sales and marketing, and then really kind of stuck into I kind of got into the niche side of the sales and marketing side of and then technology. So just to give you an example, I made a hotel website. For the brand that I was working for back in the 90s. Like in 97, I learned HTML and created probably the worst looking website of all time. But we could take take bookings in today's world, probably in the most unsecure, terrible way. But that's how I started. So it started there, and I've kind of been, in various roles adjacent to hospitality for this entire time. So more than 26 years, 27 years in the industry. Absolutely love what we do. At Travel Media Group, we've created a really cool technology platform that we built from scratch. So we built from the bottom up using all of the APIs that are available through social media, through reputation management. And so we built this. So I'm super passionate about it. The thing that I love the most about everything that I do every day is the possibility of economizing time for a hotelier, helping a hotel solve little problems that they're going through, and maybe take some of the burden of all of the stuff that a hotelier is hit with on a daily basis. And so that's really what we do. That's really the mindset that we have in the product side of this business is really how do we help? So.
Yeah. So I love that you're in the hotel. You've been in the hotel business, right? There's people that have the service, but don't understand exactly what we're going through every single day, like our struggles. Like you probably have cleans a few rooms and does right?
Yeah.
And I love when you can, and guys, here's a tip. If you've never worked in a hotel, but you offer a service to the hotel business, go spend a week, go spend 2 weeks at a hotel and go learn how they actually feel when you're working inside a hotel, like laundry. Get in the shuttle, right? Get in the shuttle driver and figure out what they do every single day. Follow the GM. Say, hey, listen, I want to understand because I'm selling to you guys. I want to understand your business and I want to know how you feel, right? Because that's a big part of when you're buying anything or you're getting involved in any of the businesses or services that people offer, that you understand their business. So if you're selling something, guys, this is a tip not for hotel people, but for people that are trying to sell to you. Learn our business, because if you don't understand our mindset, you will never convert us over to whatever you're selling. Do you agree?
I 100% agree. I 100%.
And I love that you know it. So when we talk about like, oh yeah, our guest was mad about this, or they're upset about this, or they don't understand social on this part, or when somebody posts something bad on social, like what happens, you get it. And that's what I love about what you guys are doing at Travel Media Group. And let's get into it. So like, all right, so we're talking about how to use social media in 2020, right? We only have a few more days now to the end of the year, and 2020 is coming up really quick.
Oh yeah.
So what are the hot websites that we all need to be on as far as a social platform?
Well, I mean, there are a ton of websites that are out there that you can be a part of. The ones that I think have the most influence, obviously, is Facebook. Facebook with 2.5 billion active monthly users, so it's the biggest. It spans all the generations. Basically, every generation has a great foothold inside of Facebook, and a lot of people have Facebook, pages. So I would say 100%. If you don't do anything else, do Facebook for sure, 100%. The next one is Instagram, and Instagram has really built out fast. So they've got 1 billion active monthly users, and Instagram came out of kind of, they built out really fast. So you think about, Facebook has been around for a while. Instagram, sort of a newcomer, and is already on their heels in terms of active monthly users. So the other thing I love about Instagram too, just as a side note, Instagram is it covers a lot of bases. There's a great inspiration to travel side of Instagram, but it's also a platform where you very rarely have divisive stuff, right? So you don't have a bunch of political stuff there. Typically, you don't have people that are complaining there. It's really more about like, check me out and all the great things that I get to do. It's more of the kind of on that level. So I love that. Twitter is the other one. And I think Twitter is great with 330 million active users. And the reason why Twitter I think is so great is because there are a lot of people that get information instantly. So it's a way to, like, when you connect with a guest on Twitter, they're getting a lot of information from you. And then finally is Pinterest, and they're the smaller with 250 million active monthly users. But Pinterest I think is essential from the standpoint of it's the inspiration travel website. So you put great images up there, you put information that's up there, they pin that information. It's also a great place to link to events and other things. So I think Pinterest, so basically those four I think are definitely Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, definitely.
Okay, so I just started my Instagram page earlier this year, of my professional Instagram page. I've been on Instagram for years now, right? I probably post my entire life on Instagram, but privately for my family, right? Family and some close friends. But I just recently started a Instagram page for this, what I do, hospitality, right? So you guys can connect with me at RUPESHCO on Instagram. And I think it's powerful that, hotels use it too. So, right now they say even more powerful than Facebook, although Facebook has a lot of people as far as the usership, but I think Instagram has a better way of connecting. Is that true right now? That's what a lot of people are saying.
I think Instagram definitely is a great place for hotels, especially if you've got good images. So good images, everybody. That helps you on everything. It helps you on your website, helps you on your brand site. Get good images. But for whatever reason, I don't know why we don't spend money on images in the hotel industry. We definitely need to do that. But I think Instagram definitely is a great spot for that. And I think, if you're going to wait Facebook against Instagram, I think they're fairly equal in terms of their influence on the traveler. I think what Facebook has is they have a very extremely business friendly side of their business. So setting up business pages and creating a page for your hotel, you can create one specific for a hotel, a place page. You can create book now buttons. You can do a lot of things that are very hospitality forward in that space. It's also a crazy search engine. People use Facebook to search for stuff. And it's also extremely indexed. So a lot of search results from Facebook come up. So especially if you're active on your page.
Right. And people say, oh yeah, social media is not for hotels, or they don't think it's a decision maker when you're thinking about staying at a hotel, or even after you've booked a hotel, right? Yeah. Social media is actually an influencer as far as like, all right, I have an option of staying at this hotel and this hotel. Let's say you're on a vacation. You have spring, or let's say for Christmas, in a couple weeks, your holiday season comes up, your kids are out of school, and now you have to decide where you're going to stay. Let's pick Bahamas, for example. Let's say you're staying in the Bahamas and you have a couple hotels, a couple resorts, right? Now you picked a hotel and you're like, all right, we picked it because it was cheaper, or we picked it because it was the location or whatever, but you booked it. Now you're like, oh, I want to see what they're doing as far as like what kind of food they offer, what kind of amenities they are offered to, and just kind of like, how am I going to feel when I get there? And that's what social does. And I feel like that's what happens after you book. You like go through the process of like figuring out what you're going to do and all of those things. So Jason, give us.
It's also a great influencer in booking. Well, so somebody stays at your property and they connect with you via social media, and there's lots of ways for them to do that. So growing your audience there is really important to get people that have stayed with you to connect with you on social media. And the reason why that's so important is the images that they post about you go out to their audience. Right? You then are posting. If you get into a place where you're posting regularly, they pick up those posts in their feed, and then they're exposing. So let's say you've got a property in Orlando, and the person that came and stayed with you is from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, right? So so now all of a sudden they're liking a page, they're liking a post from you, and they're exposing a bunch of people in Wisconsin to your property. So it's this ongoing marketing that happens, and it's not like viral, like Grumpy Cat went viral, right? It's viral in the sense that images and information that you can broadcast and that you can put out about your property will go out to your guests' friends, will go out to people who have interacted with you and their audience. And that's what's so powerful about it. And that's where you get this like very big residual effect of bookings and of brand advocacy. And that's really the important part, is like, I trust this hotel enough to book here.
Here's something I did about 5-6 years ago. So we were trying to grow our Facebook. At that time, we had nothing else. We weren't on anything. I wasn't on anything besides Facebook, right? This is back in the day. And I said, how can we get more people to like us on Facebook? Because you could tell people to like us, but guess what? They're not liking you. Right. Here's one thing I came up with, and guys, you can use this if you want. Make it into your own thing. I created this little. I wish I had it, because I could give you this tip. I made this little card up. It was called the social buck, right? And at check-in, we would say, Mr. Smith, here's a social buck, right? During your stay, take a picture and post it on our Facebook page. And after you post it, bring this social buck back, and you can have anything from our gift shop, or pick any of these items out of this treat box. And guess what? That started building our social proof, which is awesome, right? So can you think of different ways to, instead of just buying likes and telling people and promoting just to get likes? Because I feel like likes right now don't help you, right? Yeah. It's your following that's big, right? So people are like, oh, I should just get like 50 likes, right? Or I should get 1,000 likes. I should buy them. But that doesn't work, because they're it's like a one-time transaction. Yeah. I like that you can be a friend or a follower of a certain brand or a person, and that way you can kind of continue connecting with them, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I 100%. I mean, and that's the most important thing, is to grow to grow a community, a social community organically. And that's what we call it, is community growth. And what you want to do is you want to grow it across your platforms and grow that out. And there's a lot of easy ways. So that social buck idea is a great idea, but there's some really super simple things like adding it to your checkout folio. Making sure it's part of your email signature, putting it on your business cards. Make just little simple things that just give the person the idea to connect there. Another great place is Wi-Fi landing pages. And so sometimes people need the incentive, like an additional incentive to do it. And so there you can do all kinds of stuff like that. I think if your brand allows it, table tents at your breakfast, you can do like little placards inside of your elevators. So things like that you can kind of like create a little bit of buzz at your property, so the guests that are staying there will, have a reason to like you and know where they can go to start to follow you.
Right. And I love that part where social media is like an open it's open to any idea. Like people get scared, and there's a big fear around social media, and I think we should talk about that. So, all right, this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about social media, what platforms to be on, because I think we missed one that I think that we should all be on. And it's this one, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But I think before we even start anything on social, there's a fear amongst hoteliers and hotel managers, hotel owners, that I am afraid of posting something because I am going to be the one it looks like I'm posting for the hotel and it shows my name, and I don't want that. I want to be hidden from everything. How does that work?
So I hear this all of the time. So I don't want to create a Facebook account. So I'm going to create a private Facebook account for my hotel, and then I'm going to create a business page off of that private thing. You don't need to do that. So all Facebook is doing is they just want to know who is going to be in charge of your business page. That's all they want. So you can have more than one person that's in charge of your page. It could be you and other people. Your information, your family's information, none of that gets shared or is associated publicly with this page. So you being able to create you should be able to go in, create a business page with your personal profile. You become an admin of that page, and then from then on you can act. So when you're on the page, you go into pages, you click on your business page, you can post as your page. You're not posting as yourself, you're posting as the page. So there's a very clear cut way of doing that for both Facebook and for Instagram. Actually for all of them. So your personal information will not be there at all.
Yeah, and I used to be that way too. I'm like, oh, I don't want people knowing like who the owner is, or this is back in the day. I'm like, I don't want them knowing like that I'm connected to this business, and I don't know why I did that, but it was just a fear that I've overcome now because I talk about everything on social. The
other fear, Rupesh, real quick, the other fear is that it's going to open them up for negative comments. So I know there's probably some marketing professionals on here that are going to think that this is like super like social 101. But if you're a hotelier out there and you're afraid of this, first of all, there is a very good chance, probably better than 90% chance, that you already have a page on Facebook, and it is a place page that Facebook has given you because you're a business and you already have that page, and people are posting images there. Believe me, we see some of these images. These are images you want to definitely have control of, because it's like, it's people partying in your rooms or whatever. Instagram is the same way. If someone takes an image, if someone takes a picture and they tag your business name, right? If there's more than one person that's done that, there's a collage of pictures that have your business name on it. So taking control of these accounts, getting control of them, getting them optimized, setting them up the right way with Book Now button, with the call to action buttons, with the right kind of imaging, with the right kind of text that goes along with that, with the right name, making sure the name is correct, that's the same name you're using everywhere else. That's vital stuff. Don't be afraid of it. And as a matter of fact, get proactive and do something about it, because it's a good chance you already have a page out there that's got funky stuff on it.
Right. So does that mean take a page, or are we getting tagged on Instagram too, or is it just Facebook?
Yeah, on Instagram too. There are a lot of hotels that we come across where we do an analysis of before we talk to them. We do an analysis, and we'll see a whole Instagram page full of images, and some of them not great, that are associated with their business.
Right. So, I think it goes back to anything that you get tagged on. Make sure you take control over that. And,
Yeah.
even Google's a social channel, and they were, Google Plus was, but still it's this channel where you're getting, reviews on, people are taking pictures and you're going back and forth. But all right, so we're talking about the fear. We're going to overcome that fear of really just getting in there, posting stuff. How do you actually do it?
So once you get in and you create your accounts, I would definitely get all of your stuff together, get the images you want to use. We actually have a guide for image sizing that's a part of this, that will tell you the proper canvas sizes, the proper profile image sizes. Those are really important to get right. A lot of people make a mistake on the profile image where they add a bunch of text to the profile image. Like, so let's say they're the quality in Daytona, right? They're going to put quality in and then they put Daytona and a bunch of stuff. So the image is kind of like this, and then the text will just be underneath the circle. So most people won't even be able to see it. But what you're getting on that is right underneath your profile image is the name of your business. So you can just use the logo, your plain logo, and then the name of your business will be right underneath that, and then whatever canvas you want to use. But getting that stuff set up properly is great. So once you have that set up, once you have the call to actions done, once you have all your pages ready to go and you want to start posting, then it's about the content you post is important, but it's also about the consistency of your posting. So it's about now I'm going to set this up. So here's another thing that we see a lot is that we come in and you do have a Facebook page that you do have control of. And it was probably because of maybe something like this that you saw at a brand conference or somewhere where you're like, I'm going to get into social media. And you've got this like St. Patrick's Day post from 2012 on there, was your last post, So having current information is important. You set these things up, you need to start actually posting then at that point. So taking control of your page is important, but then getting into some sort of consistent regimen. And you could go, if you wanted to, you could be like, hey, I'm just going to post once a week if that's what you wanted to do. We suggest that you do at least 4 times. And I know it sounds like a lot, but if you do something like in that realm, probably not more than 5. Get into this regular rhythm of doing it. Maybe you can set it on your calendar. You're going to start to see a lot more people liking your page, a lot more traction on your posts, and that's really the way to do it. So definitely, I guess in that order, make sure you get your stuff connected, you get some sort of post thing going, put it on your calendar, and start posting regularly.
Yeah, and I'm reading a bunch of comments. Joining us, Christina. Thanks so much for joining us. Let us know where you're listening from and watching this from. There, we have over 70 people here on, and all right. So we have a Facebook page. Most everybody has a Facebook page now. Yeah. Everybody has an Instagram page now, right? And how do you get content? Right? We talk about getting your stuff. It's overwhelming sometimes. You're like, I don't have time. I'm trying to run my hotel. I'm trying to check people in and check people out if you're working the front desk and handling social, or if you're doing other things for the hotel where you don't have time, right? Like, how do I actually get content?
I think if you could set up a few links on your page, the best links that I would suggest, if you have a Convention and Visitors Bureau calendar of events, like go to the calendar events page, bookmark that page and put it on your computer. Any kind of event stuff going on. So a lot of times newspapers or like local event sites, venues that you have. So like if you got a fairgrounds close to you, you've got a sports center or whatever. Any of those things that you can put in that have regular events. And so I think the key to really effective social marketing is that you got to have content marketing is you got to have kind of a mix of content. So we like to have property feature information. So you make sure you do a property feature, you make sure you do an event and maybe a local story, so that the information kind of like you've got this kind of consistent information going on. And the reason why those are important is that events or occupancy drivers, the property feature stuff is that when somebody that is connected to an occupancy driver comes to your Facebook page and sees your stuff, they also see a picture of your room or they see a picture of your pool. We've even had great posts that have used like a really awesome pool image along with a concert that's going on that says, come back and relax at our hotel, at our pool after the concert. So it's like using different kinds of things. So property feature and event kind of combination stuff, but for sure, think about the things that bring bring business to your market, and you can link into it. So you can actually link onto them, find their social media platforms. So you can find the Facebook page that's running an event like a marathon or something like that, connect into that and create a post around it.
Listen, I think content is like a whole day's class worth of information, because there's so many different ways you can post content. And I'm just gonna think of like 50 things. I don't have it written down. I'm just gonna think of like 40 things that you can post on your Facebook or social media site. All right, so here we go. Post pictures of what your breakfast looks like. Post images of what the team, who's working at your hotel. Get permission from everybody. Have them sign a form that says a photo release, and have everybody in a picture and say, this is our team that's here to take care of you. Right? That's number 2.
Spotlight. Awesome.
And number 3 is posting about the event that we talked about, any events that are happening. And guess what? Events happen at your hotel every single month, or at least a couple times a year, especially the big ones. Like if you have Super Bowl that's coming up in Miami, like start talking about it now. So, and do that, right? Hashtags are a huge part, right? You don't have to always post pictures. You can just post text, which I love, right? Post text and then write hashtag, right? Another thing that you should not do, I'm going to include something that you should not do, is do not just promote your specials. I hate when people just sell to me. And Facebook and social is not about selling 100%, right? I feel like you come on social because you want to see what your friends had for breakfast. You want to see what your friends' children are doing this week, or what family members are doing, and how their Thanksgiving was, and all those things. You're not in it to be sold things, right? So if you're just posting stuff about, oh yeah, come here because we have a $39 special or a $300 special, it doesn't work, because people want to know that how are they going to feel when they're coming to your hotel. Talk about the services that you have. Talk about that pool. Talk about the hot tub. Talk about behind the scenes. Like talk about like, here's how we actually make breakfast for you in the morning. Here's how to clean a room, right? That's another one. Video is a huge part about social, right? People are afraid of being on video because they think like, oh, I don't look good. I didn't get a haircut today. I'm not wearing the proper thing. Guess what? No one is judging you more than you're judging yourself, which I've had to overcome here in the last couple of years, because I would have all these pictures on my phone and I'd take selfies, but I would never post them because I was like, oh, I don't look good today. I stopped caring. Is that okay?
Yeah. I mean, I'm here. So, I got my haircut this morning. So
yeah, guys, overcome this fear of self-doubt, because that's huge on social, right? Like you talk about your services, you want to talk about all the great things that you're doing at your hotel, but you're afraid of getting in front of the camera, right? Do an interview with a guest. Mr. Smith, thank you so much for staying with us. You stay with us every week. You're here at least 100 times a year. Would you let our audience, let the potential bookers that are trying to stay in my area, let them know why you continue staying here? That's a 30-second or at least a 5-minute video on why they come to your hotel every week, right? I think that's like number 12. I could think of like 100. But go and start posting stuff, because and a lot people love behind the scenes. Like when I'm doing an Instagram story, I say, here's what my studio looks like today. I did that this morning, right? Or here's what I'm doing today, as far as like, here's my breakfast that I'm having, right? I love that, because people want to know like how you're authentic behind the scenes, instead of saying, oh yeah, we're the Ritz-Carlton and that we're perfect, right? Sometimes show your mistakes, which is another post. Like, oh, we really screwed up in this one, right? But here's how we're going to make it right. And here's what we do when we really fail, because not everybody's perfect, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
You know what I love about social media? So we kind of do both sides of the coin at Travel Media Group. So we do reputation management, and we also do social media management. And what I love is reputation is this very reactive place that we sit in. So we see reviews coming in about us, or guests leaving comments about us, and then we sort of react to those reviews. Social media is this great place where we can be proactive about who we are. What is it that we do here? What kind of hospitality are we promoting? And I agree with everything you said in terms of all of those great things. What I will say is, I love all those things, but be realistic with your time, be realistic with what you're going to do, and make a plan. make a plan that you're going to do something. And maybe that plan is around, hey, I'm going to show a picture of how we have the cleanest towels in town, so show some laundry, or maybe you do some of those things, but make sure you plan it out. You have the time to do it so that you're doing it consistently.
Yeah. And guys, good morning to everybody that's logging in here, watching this video, this live video on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for joining us. Jason, we provided at least 30 things that people can do right now, actionable stuff. I have three more.
Okay.
I live in Orlando. If I owned a hotel in Orlando, or if I owned a hotel in nowhere land, right? Just some city that's off the highway, I would go to the top 3 places that are most popular in my city. Let's just say for Orlando, I can't even pick Orlando because there's so many things here, but let's just say, for example, I stayed in St. Augustine or some other city in America. I would go to my top 3 places that this city is known for and go interview the owner. If it's a restaurant that is super popular, this special restaurant in your city, in your town, in your county, go interview them. And it could be even a text interview, why did you start this business? How did you start? And then do a series, right? And people love that, where you get to understand that these people are not just trying to sell me a room, are offering this valuable content that I can't find anywhere else, right? I love that part. Go do a tour of anything, like the chocolate factory that's in your city, and take pictures and say, guys, when you're here on a rainy day and you have nowhere to go, you can't hit the beach. If you're at a beach location, do these 5 things, and then go to and take a video or take a picture of these 5 things that you could do when it's raining, right? Simple. I mean, I could think of 1,000 things that you could post.
On that same line, Rupesh, you can follow those businesses and you can repost their posts. That's a really simple, great way to get awesome content. So their promotions and the stuff that they're doing, you promote. You can actually share that content. They love it because you're sharing it with your audience, and it's like a built-in content.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. And now you've built, because guess what? You said, hey, once you reshare their stuff, send them a direct message saying, hey, Chocolate Factory, we just shared your story on whatever, or a picture of your chocolate place. We would love for you to become our friend or a connection, or reshare it on your, I don't know. There's a bunch of ways that you can kind of
share your post too. I mean, that happens.
Yeah. It's link building. That's what it's called. So really go back to that. So we talked about content. All right. So you have to create content, connect with it. Who's actually growing? Who does this? How do you do this? Because I don't know. If you're a general manager, you are checking rooms, maybe you're building your team, you're doing 100 other things, 1,000 other things in a day. Who does this? How?
You can if you as a general manager, if you're like, hey, I don't have time to do this, you could empower your front desk manager, or you could empower your assistant GM if you have an AGM or a DOS. I get nervous as a former hotelier because, and if there's any DOSs listening, I'm sorry, but I get nervous whenever I assign anything to a DOS that is not selling. So I want them out finding business, so, but that is a place. That's a place where you could go. There's also companies that also will help with that. And then there's also companies that help with consolidating those efforts. So we do one of those things. We have a do-it-yourself portion where you can connect all the sites together. So you create one post, and that post goes out to all of the sites simultaneously. There are other companies that do that, like Hootsuite and Sprout Social, that also have similar kinds of things. But at Travel Media Group, we've got that. Plus, we also have people that create content for you. So you can, and there's other companies that do that as well besides us. But I think if you're serious about getting it done, you can do content marketing yourself. But if you're really serious, hey, I have a limited service property, I'm not going to have the time to do this, I'm going to be realistic and not do it. Don't keep it off of your marketing plan for 2020 because of that. There are some really low cost ways of making it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's what I also love. Yeah, we can hire a company like Travel Media Group to post stuff and share stuff, but also they need your help too. So it's not going to be just let it go, and they still are going to need some of your help and content, like pictures. They can't walk into, you guys can't walk, or any other company can't walk into your hotel every single day and take pictures, right?
Yeah,
it's not feasible. But here's what you can do: 1,000%, 100%, 150%. That somebody on your team is great at social. somebody, a front desk person, a housekeeper, houseman, anybody. There's at least one or two people that are awesome at social that you don't know about because you're not friends with them on Facebook or Instagram. Guarantee they can help you at least get some ideas. So you can be like, hey, Brittany, I see that you're awesome and you have a bunch of followers and you get so many likes and you have this great way of producing content. Would you like to take over this portion of social, right? And that's another way of like just getting on, or at least take pictures and send them to the company that's doing our social.
Yeah, definitely.
When you don't have time, delegate. And this is a huge mindset for hotel owners, managers, leadership. Delegation is huge.
Yes.
Huge. Comment if you agree delegation is huge, because we cannot do everything ourselves. We can't be everywhere all the time. And I see hotel managers trying to do that. Sometimes you have to work on your business, not inside it. And I've had to grow that mindset myself because it's stressful. And that's how we stress ourselves out. Like, well, we have to go do this for the, I have to be the shuttle driver. I have to do all these 100,000 things. And I got to do social at the same time. Like, how do I do all this? And that's when you start getting stressed out. But when I can get the help of my team, outside resources, I feel better and I feel like coming to work, right? There's days where like, I'm not coming to work because I have too much work, right? But it's because we're not delegating properly. And that's a huge part of our business when you have to, when you can delegate and understand the benefits of it, right?
Definitely.
Good. All right, so let's go. So we said the 5 essentials, right?
Yeah.
The first one was create and connect your accounts, right? Get up your accounts. Number 2 is grow your social following with content, right? Whatever it is.
Yeah, so growing your social community, that was that thing where we're like, put your stuff on the folio, you give social bucks. It's like anything you can do to get your guests involved, and then you can also get future guests involved as well. And there are page like ads that you can do. And I know you were like, hey, I don't like those, but the page like ad program through Facebook has gotten really good. And basically what they're doing is they're targeting people that are looking for hospitality or looking for travel in your area. So they're targeting your guests basically. So you just show up in their feed and, with a page like ad. Another really quick win on that one too. And I know we're on time, but, and I know I said already that you wouldn't expose like your personal side of yourself on Facebook, but one quick way to do that would be to ask all your friends and family to like your pages. So and because chances are your friends and family have friends and family, right? And they have friends and family. So that's how that stuff starts to really grow and how the reach of a post can really carry.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also groups too. There's like we could honestly we could talk about content and how to grow your social following. Is Jason, that would just blow people's minds away of like even getting to stay at your hotel that has 20,000, 50,000 followers. You don't need this guy that has 1 million followers or millions of followers. You need some small influencers that can influence a certain niche of people, right? If they're like doctors that are whatever, traveling doctors, traveling nurses, traveling whatever, get one of the superpower that guy that has the influence over those people, have them stay at your hotel, talk about how nice you were. And guess what? You don't have to be the Ritz-Carlton to have these people stay at your hotel.
100%.
These smaller influencers that have a really strong network of other people in a certain industry really believe in this person. And if you could be a Holiday Inn Express, doesn't matter what it is, right? Any independent and any hotel, any type of hotel service, and have them stay at your hotel and let them talk about you. That's just another way of connecting and growing your social following, right? There's a million ways you could do it.
It's crazy.
So all right, so we're talking about, and I wrote these down because I'm getting older right now and I can't.
Okay.
I forget everything. I can't remember anything. I forgot what I had for dinner last night. Is that sad?
It wasn't pizza?
It was not pizza.
I remember that.
All right, sorry. So we have growing your social community. Yeah. Consistency is a huge part, right?
Consistent posting.
Yeah, I see like there's brands that post every single day, post 5 times a day. How often should I actually be posting on my Instagram, my Facebook? I
would be careful on over posting. So but but the hotels that I've encountered do not have that problem. They don't overpost, they underpost. So, so I would say on the minimum side, try to do 3 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week. On the maximum side, probably no more than 6, 7. Depends on how relevant that content is. I would be very careful about overposting on Instagram specifically. I think so Instagram and Pinterest require images. So you have to have an image in order to post. So on the other ones, you can post text. Twitter and Facebook, you can do just text if you want to. So there could be some quick text information you could put out there, some hashtag information you could put out. So you can maybe do a little more there, but I would be very careful of overposting on for sure on Instagram.
Awesome, yeah. So, all right, so we keep it consistent. You have to have this team that's going to do it with you. You're going to post daily if you have to, or weekly. Mm-hmm. I like this whole platform now that, I forgot what it's called, but it's now like the stories, right? Yeah. Facebook stories, Instagram stories, Snapchat stories. Mm-hmm. I love stories because you get behind the scenes on, they might be posting once or twice a week, but they're posting like every hour on stories. And that's a huge way of kind of building your social following is the stories. Is that correct?
Definitely. And I think if you got the time to do stories, so the issue with stories is that you have to pretty much do them on your phone. Actually, no, you have to do them on your phone. You have to do them on your phone, and they've got to be something kind of in that, unless you're sharing into that. But yeah, so I agree. Stories are, if you've got the time to do it, stories work really good. But it's something that you're going to have to do. It's not something that you could have someone else do for you.
Yeah, listen, my family hates that I do stories, and I've been doing stories for a while, especially on my personal side, because we have dinner, and my wife sets dinner out, or I set dinner out. I'm like, nope, nobody eat right now. Hold up. And I'm gonna take a picture of what we're eating and post it on my stories. And my kids are like, really? So yeah, you do have to make a mindset that you're gonna be posting stories. And I feel like stories really connect you with the person that's following you, because they see the behind the scenes. They see what you really are, instead of being that fake person that you could be on social, right? And you could post it. You stayed at the whatever hotel, or you were doing this in your life, and you could fake all of that. But stories like, hey, I'm doing this right now, and it's like, I love that part about social too. So
yeah, cool. And they're in the moment. That's more in the moment. So you kind of watch them, and that's definitely more in the moment kind of stuff. Which is great. But I think if you're taking just nuts and bolts hospitality, on the hospitality side of things, where you're like, how do I influence the traveler through their journey towards booking, or how do I influence them after that? But there is a lot of those places inside there, and good old fashioned feed posting for influencing travelers through their journey, I think is that's the block and tackle side of social media. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like organic posting, and guys, organic posting means you actually go to that website. So you go to facebook.com, you log in, and you post there. I feel like you get more traction. And I think Facebook's algorithm and all these other social algorithms give you a better chance to get viewed more than not. Was that true?
So I would say it's not true. And the reason why I say that is that whether you're posting through an API, or you're posting directly, it's sort of indistinguishable. So you're using your credential. So it's the interface is you're using Facebook's interface to post using your business credential, or you're using an API to post, so using another service, for example. Right. So it's indistinguishable to Facebook. So using that kind of stuff, I think is good, is as good as doing it yourself. Now, the difference is that there isn't an API, there isn't stuff for stories. So stories are things that you're going to have to do on your own. So you are going to have to use the app for that platform to create that story.
Yeah. All right. So we talk about content. We talk about the story side. We talk about the posts that you're posting. I also love what we're doing right now. We're doing a live, right? And that's what we do. That's what social is about, right? It's really connecting and sharing stories. And if I screw up here, guess what? It's okay. I'm okay with that, right? And I think it's a mindset where people are like, I don't want to show my live, like it's not perfect back here. I don't have stuff all over the place. Whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. Live shows your authenticity as far as how you are and what your business is about. I love that about social. And you could do live on Instagram. You can do live on Facebook. You can do live on any other platforms.
I think you can on Twitter as well.
Twitter, you can do it live? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, I actually wrote this down. Is Twitter dead?
No, I don't think Twitter is dead. Yeah, you know what? Again, I think it is a platform with a lot of audience that you can still influence travelers on. So yeah, I think it's still relevant. It's still 100% a relevant medium to put content out there. Is it as effective as Facebook and Instagram? I don't think it is as effective, but I think it's one of these things where it's, why wouldn't you cover that base? You know, it's like if you were like, well, I like everything, but I don't like orbits. So I don't want to, like, what does orbits give me? I'm not going to be on orbits, you know, and I know it's part of Expedia, but it's like, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you be there if it's going to give you business? And I think with Twitter, it's the same thing. You still have a huge amount of people that use Twitter every day. And I think Twitter definitely, in terms of like catching people in the moment, you know, it's still a valid platform, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I go to Twitter just to follow news, like what's happening in you know, the world, because I don't watch TV. I watch probably 0% of TV throughout my day. I feel it's more powerful that I can get the news without all the garbage that happens behind the scenes, right? Or as far as local news is concerned, I don't watch zero local news because of that reason. But that's what I use Twitter for. All right, so we're talking about social. We're talking about the different channels. How about we talked about TikTok? And if you don't know what TikTok is, it's a new platform that's growing like crazy, and it's basically, and you guys, you can kind of have a big following if you're posting a lot of stuff about your hotel or about yourself as a general manager or as a person working at the hotel, just by posting up a video, and maybe even it's connected to songs, it's connected to a bunch of different things as far as about music is concerned, but you can even do TikTok without the music side, right? Yeah. Which I like, and people just scroll through and quickly look at like 15-second videos or 30, you know, whatever it is. But I love that. I think 2 weeks ago I opened up TikTok, and we're just going through and watching all these videos, and these are just regular people just sharing funny stories or music. Because I think if TikTok was Musical.ly, right, before this?
Yes.
And so they would just sing songs, and it was just cool to see how creative people are. And guess what? Maybe you don't do TikTok as far as a social platform for your hotel, but you get an idea, right? A creative idea. That's what I love. You get an idea that you can take back and say, oh, you know what? They did this on TikTok. Maybe we can do this. Make it our own. And I love that part about social media, where, you're not stealing, but you're borrowing an idea and you're making it your own. That's anything in life, actually. Jason, what do you think about YouTube as a social media channel?
I mean, I love YouTube. I think, it's a great place, and you can have people that will follow you and you can do videos, but you got to do videos, and the videos have to be decent. So I think it's definitely a different medium in terms of like that kind of consistent posting. If you posted 4 videos a week on YouTube, first of all, it would take you a lot of time because there's the editing and stuff involved and uploading and all that stuff. But I don't know if it's going to be as effective as the other social media platforms. There's a ton of eyeballs there, and I think it can be great for marketing, and it's certainly great brand marketing. But I think it's a tough putt. If you're a single property and you're trying to like make it in social media, trying to like build occupancy, I think you could spend your time elsewhere. And I'm not saying that it's not great and that you can't promote there and stuff. There could be a bunch of comments like, no, YouTube's the greatest, but it is. But if it's like, but again, going back to that thing where it's like, hey, I'm going to do something, that making that measurable, that SMART goal for 2020 for social media, I would definitely try to tackle the sites we talked about today. And then you could move into that. If you're like, man, I got this mastered, I want to start doing videos, you could do that. But I think in the moment, like what you're saying, doing a video that shows up in the feed or shows up on your profile. Things like that might be more effective than going to YouTube, than creating a YouTube channel just for your property.
Right. So I love YouTube, and my kids watch it, and there's 4-year-old kids that are making millions of dollars just opening boxes of toy boxes and doing that. And YouTube is probably one of the biggest search engines out there as far as just search for your hotel.
Yeah.
And I love the concept of showing videos about your hotel. Videos are huge. And then guess what? You share that on your Facebook page. So you can even take your phone, take your iPhone or whatever phone you have, because now every phone is high resolution, post it up on YouTube, and then and you could do short videos like, here's how we clean a room. Here's how we do laundry. Here's how you book something. You can even take how to actually book a hotel room at the whatever Hilton Garden Inn in downtown or wherever, right? And you do a screenshot or a screen video capture of you actually booking your hotel. And that's just one little simple idea. Post it up to all these different platforms: Facebook, Instagram stories, YouTube. All right, so you said we haven't talked about this one channel now, and it is Pinterest.
Yeah.
I get 30, last time I checked 2 weeks ago was 36 or 52. I'll have to check, but I get thousands of views on my Pinterest my company's Pinterest page, which is crazy because I've just said it and forget it. What do you recommend for Pinterest?
I love Pinterest, and Pinterest is like, from an inspiration to travel standpoint, so you're talking about that traveler's journey, Pinterest is like the inspiration to travel mecca, so it's the place where you put your best images. It's the stuff that you want to have your best foot forward in terms of people saying, hey, when I'm coming to this city, I'm planning this trip, and let's say I'm planning this trip across the country, I'm going to pin. If you don't have a Pinterest page, there's no way for them to pin your business. And so making sure you have that. The cool thing about Pinterest as well is that every single image that you post on it, you can have a booking link on. So that's different than other places. So like that stuff's embedded into it. So when they pin that image, when they go into their travel 2020, Pinterest page or whatever that they created, they can click on your image and it'll take them right into your website. So I think Pinterest is definitely, it's definitely not talked about as much as the other sites, but for hotels, I love Pinterest, especially for that.
Yeah, and recently I heard, guys are like, oh, I'm not going to get on Pinterest. That's a girl thing. No, listen, I got on Pinterest 6 years ago or 7 years ago, or probably less, 6 years ago. And everyone's like, oh, it's only for women because that's what they're just shoppers and people are looking for food ideas and whatever. Right now, I just recently read I think a stat, it was like 30+% of people on Pinterest are men.
Yeah, it's their fastest growing demographic,
which is mind blowing. Like you're like, men want all these different ideas. So now,
it's just a way to organize all that,
So Pinterest is huge for any channel, especially for your hotel. Here's some ideas that you could use for Pinterest. And what Pinterest is the website, and you can have different boards, like different idea boards, right? So your first board could be how to get, or what's happening, what's hot in Orlando, or what's hot in New York City, or what's hot in Texas, Houston, Texas, right? Wherever you're from. Or the next board could be, and then you open up that board and it says, oh yeah, here are the top 5. You can post a little image saying top 5 things that are popular, or top 5 attractions, or top 10 attractions, or whatever. That could be one board. Now you can have a wedding inspiration board for Texas, right? Or for your hotel. You can have a pool guide, what to bring to our pool when you're staying at our hotel, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget this, like we have towels for you. We have maybe water guns, or I don't know, floaties. Yeah. We provide all that stuff for you. Don't bring all that stuff, right? I love that you can just have inspirational things on Pinterest where you're really inspiring these people and getting them in the mindset of them staying at your hotel. So even for example, like if you're having a wedding, have a few wedding boards, like what to do on your wedding day at our hotel, what to do in Texas, what to do for wedding guests in Houston, Texas, right? Whatever. I would come up with like a bunch of ideas and make boards and then post pictures against, right?
Definitely. I think the easy, simple ones would be like, here's a board for our rooms. You got a bunch of room pictures. You have, if you got event space, if you have outdoor space, like creating boards for that kind of stuff, super simple, easy to do. They last forever as long as you keep updating them. And then have something and then have another one where you're going to be ongoing. So something you're going to be, posting stuff regularly into.
Ballrooms. I mean, here's our ballrooms. Here's our meeting space, right? I love that. And I like that you say you can book it, right? Book and have it go directly to that link. And guys, this is free. This is all free stuff that you can get your hotel out there to the public, out to the people that are traveling. Now, let's say I don't have a big following. I don't have a Four Seasons. I don't have a Ritz-Carlton or even a super high-end hotel, but I still want to be in front of people. How do you do that?
Yeah, just do it. Do it. Don't be afraid of it. I think a lot of times we let the fear of the things we talked about before, like you might be afraid that your personal information is going to be shared. Or you might be afraid that it's going to bring bad information about your hotel, spread bad information about your hotel. I think, or you might be afraid you don't have time to do it. I think fear stops us to doing a lot of these things. And I think every single property, there is not a hotel out there that could not benefit from this, but that also doesn't have this great opportunity to take a little bit of control. So even if let's say you're like, I don't want to post, I don't want to do any stuff. Even if you just created these sites and just got control of them so that your credential was on them and you were getting regular alerts, just having that, you could actually control things. Somebody posts something negatively about you, you can just delete it. So just having that helps you, at least manage it from a base standpoint. But if you get it going and activate it, man, you can really turn up the heat in terms of growing brand advocacy and then taking those little objections away from the guest at the time of booking. When a guest is in that final stage of that traveler's journey, so they're in that final stage of the funnel where they're like, I'm now going to buy. They're researching about your property. If you've got no social media or you've got terrible social media, that could take all of the goodwill you've kind of garnered up to that point, that could steer them to your competitor. So getting these things in at least optimized and at least some kind of basic thing going is going to help you definitely in that final stage of the funnel for sure. But then, like we talked about, it also helps in inspiration to travel. It helps all through.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of like a million other things we can talk about social. This final thing that we did not talk about is, and I was saying is, if you don't have a big following, how do you get in front of that audience that you're really looking for, your demographics? And by the way, guys, when you're posting stuff, you have to understand what type of traveler stays at your hotel. If you're a X hotel, the Hotel ABC, and you provide limited service amenities and service to your guests, you're not going to post these high-end pictures, because guess what? That connection between what you're doing and what you actually, or what you're posting and then what you actually have when they walk into your hotel room, it's not really for your guests, right? They're gonna be like, we expected this high-end room, and guess what? These pictures look amazing, but guess when I walked into the room, it looks trashy, it's dirty, and whatever. So you kind of have to understand the content you're posting and who your audience is. And when you don't have a big following, I love advertising. I love like, hey, I need to quickly get my name and my hotel across to this audience, right? It doesn't matter who it is. So I love that you can advertise on every platform right now. I think you can even advertise on Twitter, but you can definitely target advertise to your demographic. So if you know that your travelers are between 18 and 65 and they have this income and they usually stay at this type of hotel and they live in this area, you can directly target them on social, which I love, because you don't need all this following just to get business. You can say, listen, I want to target this audience, and here's exactly the people that stay at this brand or is a member for this rewards program. So let's, for example, if I want to target everybody that's a Hilton Honors member that is this age and has this income because I have this Hampton Inn, right? And then make an ad on Facebook. Can you talk about that real quick?
Yeah. I mean, Facebook has a ton of, you can go deep into the demographic side of stuff and really target out your traveler. You can even use your own email addresses. So email addresses that you maybe have collected to actually, you push those in, they can actually build a profile of your traveler. So there's a lot of ways you can target. Facebook also has retargeting. So I don't know if you've ever done this, but you're like flipping through Instagram and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I just was looking at that, yesterday on Google, and now I've got an ad for it in Instagram, or I got an ad for it on my Facebook feed. The thing that makes that so powerful, the reason why that's so powerful, is that retargeting ad catches you in this space that is this, I think, a really interesting space. So if think about this from a traveler's perspective, you're hit with ads when you first do a Google search, right? So you first get those ads, you're hit with those ads. You're maybe hit with ads through other stuff, display ads and so forth. You're now finished searching, you're done, you're exhausted searching for a hotel. Now you're like sitting on the couch and you're flipping through your feed and boom. There is a great picture of a hotel that has the amenities you want in the city that you want, and it has a little book now, it has something built into it, or it's a post, a boosted post that then targets that person that's about an event that's happening there. You click onto it, all of a sudden you're into something like into a buying process. So you're also catching someone maybe when they're a little more susceptible, they're not being bombarded by a bunch of other information, it's just you. So I think social media advertising is phenomenal. Boosting posts, I think, is really cool. So boosting the actual posts that you're posting. So cool content that you're putting out there, especially event content, boosting that and getting that in front of more eyeballs, especially eyeballs that are looking to stay or looking around those events, are really cool. And then just straight up, page promotion.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I think advertising is really cool when you don't have the following. Like you just, all right, let's say you just opened up a brand new hotel. And guys, in the comments here below, type your favorite social platform that you use personally or at your hotel, because I want to learn like where people are in what channels they use, because and we can't pick everything. We can't be on every channel. Like for me, I'm on Instagram a little bit. I'm not on Facebook, but I am on LinkedIn because I feel like I can provide the most value for my following, and so I picked Instagram. Guys, comment in the comments below which platform you love the most and that you're most on, because we could talk about 50 different platforms, but we can't be on every one of them and be proficient at every one of them and post every single day, because we have other things to do as far as a job and family and time with all those. Let's see. Sagar says Instagram. Lori, she says when you give a social plug, that's where we. Yeah. Guys, comment. Let us know which social platform you guys use, and let's go back to the advertising, because I love that you built a brand new hotel now, right? Mm-hmm. And you're opening up, or you're about to open up, and you don't have anybody because you didn't build the platform. You've now opened up a Facebook page, you've opened up Instagram page, you've done all these different channels that you've opened up, and now you need to get bookings like today because the economy is going down or whatever, right? Your competition's taking all your business, or you want to take their competition's business away. Yeah, you can doing an OTA sale, right? If you're doing an OTA sale at 50% off your rooms, guess what? That could be up to $50 or $200 if you're a big higher end hotel. What if you could spend like $2 or $5, right, on advertising per click, or you could even be cheaper than that depending on your market, depending on where you are as far as your location. But think about this: if you can create an ad that says book here, and maybe have some valuable content around it, 5 reasons why you should stay at this hotel for the Super Bowl, right? Let's just pick for Miami, for example. You have a brand new hotel in Miami. You are trying to get in front of people. You can create an ad that says 5 reasons why we're the best location for your Super Bowl trip to Miami, right? And then have them go click on it, and they go to a landing page on your website that says, here are the 5 reasons. At the bottom, there's a call to action that says book here. Yeah. And they start booking, right? You wouldn't be able to get that if you didn't advertise.
True.
You wouldn't be able to get that content across.
I will also say, going back to your first comment about opening a hotel, we work with hotels all the time in opening. So pre-opening is a great time to start social media. So you start before, like right as you pour the foundation, show the progression of the build. But during that time, you can use ads, page-like ads, to target travelers that are currently traveling and staying in that market. So you can create like a little community. You can start to grow your community with travelers that are there. You can start to boost posts for travelers that are there in your market. That's a cool thing, man. You start to grow that. So when you open it up, there's a little bit of buzz around it. So the grand opening isn't like, a tree falling in the forest if no one's there, right? It's like, because I've been involved in openings of hotels, and you're like, yay, like when are the people going to come?
Yeah.
So, but if you start early, and I think social media is phenomenal for hotel openings, especially if you're building it or you're renovating. We also have done that with hotels where they've closed down, they've renovated their hotel, and then and so we basically help them, build social media through the renovation to grand reopening.
Yeah, and I think that's part of your marketing. Like, put it in your marketing budget to be on social. Right, put in the game plan for 2020, because we're talking about how to use social media for next year, really, and beyond. Is these ideas, and guys, rewatch this entire video, because we gave at least 50, maybe 100 ideas that you could take, actionable steps that you could take today to really convert and get people to know about your hotel, understand your services, and then really have them book and have them at top of mind, because that's what social is about. It's not just selling to them, but it's being on top of mind when they're trying to make a decision on where to stay in a certain location. And content is still king, right? You have to post all the time, and you have to share valuable stuff. It's not just like, oh yeah, we have a 3-day special at $300, right? It's why people should stay at your hotel, and it's about a feeling. It's about like placing themselves in your hotel, and I love that about social media, because you can really convert people that like this one brand, and they're like loyal to this one brand. But if they can get a different feeling about something, about the way you offer service or what you do differently, you can change their game. You can change their mind just through social, and it could be through any of these channels we talked about. Now,
well, in Gen Z, we haven't even talked about. So Gen Z is this generation that's coming up. These are the little folks in our life, and they're coming up. They're not even going to know a world that doesn't have all this stuff interconnected. They don't even know that. So starting a strong social media presence immediately, growing that into when their generation starts to travel. You already have millennials traveling that social media is important to them. So it's massive. Gen Z coming up after that, that's all they're going to know. Yeah. So if you're like, hey, I'm going to wait till 2027 to get this going, I'm going to take another year off. It's just like anything else, man. The sooner you can start to grow that, there is no shortcut in it. Yeah. So you have to start and grow it and make it happen. And the sooner you start, the better, because these generations coming up, this is where they're at.
Yeah. And we didn't even talk about social responsibility. Like, oh my God! Like, just think about the grief that Starbucks got when they had to kick out those two gentlemen that were just having a meeting, and they're business people in a meeting, right?
Yeah.
Social media really hurt Starbucks at that time, where in Starbucks, and the manager thought they were loitering, and guess what? Somebody caught that on video and posted on social. This is happening every single day at our hotel. So we need to understand the power of social media, and to really understand, like, everything you do at your hotel could be posted on social, either through your staff or through a guest, or guess what? Or even through someone that's not even staying, or just a bystander, or someone that's just passing by, and they catch you. So don't get in that position where you are not on social, and all of a sudden you one day open up Facebook, or one day you open up any social platform, and you're like getting killed on it, right? We have to be on it every single day and monitor it. And I think that's powerful, especially these days when everything is social and it's not going away. In the back of the day, they're like, oh, it's a fad. It's like, whatever. It's like rollerblades. Oh, it's going to come in and come out. It's not a fad, guys. This is like reality. This is how people are booking your hotel. This is how you're making money these days. It's through social, right? People are walking into the door because they know that you're there. Oh, they have to know that that's how they're going to walk into your door. But, one final, and guys, Jason, would you want to do a full day training on social?
If somebody is willing to listen to me, I will talk all day about social media. Seriously, I love it. So yes,
I think we could do a 1 day
like a boot camp
or a workshop just on social media for hotels, like how to set it up, how to post. Here's what to do on video. Here are the applications. Because guys, everything you see on LinkedIn is typically, for the most part, me with all these different applications and all these different techniques that I've kind of discovered as far as like what to use for text over your thing, how to use this platform right here, right, live, right? Would this be something that you would be interested in as far as like attending a workshop? Like comment in the link, or comment in the comments, because I would love to hear, like, would this be something that you'd be interested in? Because I know there are people that would like eat this up and be super. It's like going to a convention or a conference. Like you learn this thing, and you're like, oh my God, like this has changed my life. And I've been there. Like, have you been to a conference where like, I just like learned something that is gonna change my life? I love that part about this business, where social can change the way you do business at your hotel or any hotel, right? And guys, I think we have a bunch of people that says, Jerry says, great idea. Deborah would love that. Renee, Brenda, we should do this. We should do, and Jason's actually in his meeting space, in his meeting room, at conference room, in his at Travel Media Group, and I think we could do it there. Really
good. Yeah,
you guys have the space for it. We can get together and all right. So we've talked for an hour and 15 minutes. We could talk about this for like 20 days because I have so much on my mind for social media. Narda says yes. Gudrun says yes. Marty says phenomenal. Thank you guys for joining us. One last topic: LinkedIn for hotels.
Yeah,
LinkedIn is a huge social media channel, especially for me and you. But is it good for hotels?
So I think it can be great for hotels, but not in the same way that the other channels are. So it's great to have a page, and it's great to connect there. I think it's great for employment. I think LinkedIn is not really the space for travel ads or travel influencing. That's my opinion, because the other sites are a lot more like recreational based. LinkedIn definitely is a great place to spot talent, to cultivate relationships, and to create corporate relationships inside of your marketplace. It's definitely a place to be on, to be active in, to get your business on and have your business be active, but in a different way. Different than where you're posting events and stuff. People on LinkedIn don't want to see about how great your king bedroom is and how it's going to be awesome for the Dave Matthews concert. They're more like, how do we do business? Yeah.
And so I'm gonna have to arm wrestle you about this, because I think LinkedIn's super popular, or it can be valuable for a hotel if you offer business services, if you're in a location that is business friendly, if you are doing something for a certain business. And here's what I recommend. Definitely go and create a LinkedIn business page for your hotel. For marketing, recommend LinkedIn. Every hotel have a local LinkedIn page, because guess what? If you're working somewhere, you want to know where your employees are, because guess what? Your employees can connect into and have them connected to your business. But then also on your business page, you can say 5 reasons corporate people stay. I'm just making this up right now. I can't even think of it right now. But if we came up with a game plan, we could say 5 reasons why we do corporate, or something focused around corporate, as far as business travelers that are on LinkedIn, because it's not just for jobs these days. It's really to understand what this business is doing, or what a business can do for my business, or learn business to business. So you have to come up with a game plan on how you do business to business. So if you're in a hotel that offers business services or has a meeting space, and you need to fill up your meeting room or your boardroom, guess what? Instead of having that in your office, come enjoy coffee, and we'll offer free coffee and set you up and do those kind of things. I love that, where you can teach people or share your business side of the hotel space, right? Or you have this what you do for your corporate business, what you do for your different groups that are just only corporate based, right? If you know that Deloitte or some other group is coming into your town, you can maybe help promote what they're doing and promote it on LinkedIn and tag them on it, and they might be like, oh, these guys love us, let's stay at their hotel, right? It's really about I feel like social is really about connecting on an experience level, as far as like, how do I feel? I always go back to feeling, like, how do I feel? How am I going to feel when I come to their hotel? And it's really all the stuff that you do on social, making me feel like I can imagine myself there, right? What do you think?
I think I absolutely I agree with everything you're saying. I mean, I think I have my feelings on LinkedIn and hotel and actual guest acquisition are, maybe they're outdated, Rupesh. Maybe you've taught me something right now that I need to go back and re-examine. So
I think everybody should do that. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, but definitely, I think from our standpoint, we look at like, here, from a nuts and bolts standpoint, how do you get your arms around these real primary drivers? But I also like LinkedIn, man. I'm willing. If there's some people on this call who want to reach out and do some A/B testing, I'm down with that.
Yes. Well, guys, if you want to connect with Jason at Travel Media Group, click on his LinkedIn profile and hit connect, so that you guys connect and you see what Jason's doing and what great things his Travel Media Group's doing, because they have great content that they have on Travel Media Group's business page on LinkedIn. And that's how we're learning. Like, hey, we're also learning through these other different channels, not just Facebook and Instagram. But I love like how we can all connect together. And so I could continue this all day long. Now, we talked about LinkedIn. We talk about all these different channels. People post stuff and they put the wrong image size up, and it drives me crazy because like their head's cut off and it's shrunk down, or they aren't getting the. And by the way, all these different platforms have algorithms based on what you post to see if it's going to get promoted, or if it's going to get boosted, or if it's going to get viral based on what you post, right? And the size is a big part of it, right? If you're just blowing up a huge picture and they're trying, and Facebook or Instagram's trying to, or Facebook or any of the social channels are trying to, crop it down, and it doesn't look good and people don't like it, and you're wondering why you posted this and you didn't get any likes, is because you're sizing. So I asked Jason and his team to come up with a guide that we talked about, and it's a sizing guide for your social posts. So click on the link here or get the link, and this goes directly to their size guide for 2020. These are the exact, if you use this guide to, when you're posting stuff, you're going to get a better chance for it to go viral. It's going to look good on posts. You're going to get more engagement. You might get more comments. I love that we can provide this valuable tool for people. And guess what? I continue going back to guides because I don't get it right all the time either. And so I have to really get to understand what the sizes are. And every platform is different. So like Pinterest is a different size. Don't think that you could just create one design or graphic, then you can post it everywhere. It doesn't work that way, right?
Stories and feed are also different too. So your stories are a little more like this, feed's a little more like that. So you also have that going on.
Yeah. So is it here? Is it here? Oh, it's right here. let me take it up. All right, guys, it's right here below. Click on the link to get the guide. It's a free guide from Travel Media Group, and it's everything you need as far as the size of the platforms that that you're going to be posting to. Guys, has this been powerful? Has this been effective as far as a channel or as far as content? Like, did you like this? Hit the like button, comment, let me know how you like this, because I feel like we could talk about this for another 4 or 5 days and have Jason on again with this whole other topic. I know we're going to come on later, maybe next year, and talk about reviews.
Yeah.
Which connects with social. Like, your reviews have to be great, and your social has to kind of come and align together to have this great online presence. So I'm happy to talk about that. But guys, did you guys like this? And guys, thank you so much. Hit the like button, clap, or whatever. Jason, where can people find you?
Travelmediagroup.com for sure. It's where all of our stuff's at. You can find me on LinkedIn. Obviously, don't hit me up on any of my social media. I won't friend you back. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, that you can find me on all those places. But we've got, just like, you've said, and this is my shameless promotion, but we have a great team of dedicated people that love hospitality. We love hoteliers. All we do is try to help. So if we can help you in any way, we'd love to.
And all right, so going back, what services do you guys provide at Travel Media Group?
So specifically in social media, we have we do posting for you. We also do creation. So we'll do site creation and optimization for your actual social sites. But we do really cool. We have this awesome custom post situation that we have where we put all your images up. We put links to all of your events that are going on. You can interact with it. There's a bunch of really cool stuff, and we have some incredible content creators that create social media for our hotels. So that's on the social media side. We do some great stuff. We add ads and boost posts to that. We have a community growth program to that. So we do a whole strategy for you, and we have different levels of that strategy. So you can have a very entry level all the way up to a very robust one. And then we also do review response. We do email post-day email marketing to your guests to get them to leave reviews. We have a whole reputation analytics system that's all built. It's all custom. It's all built that we built from the ground up. We're really proud of it. We build it hospitality first. So it's all 100% built for hotels.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you guys are just focused on hotels. There's companies that do social, but they're like all over the place, and they don't understand, like we talked about at the beginning, like they don't understand how I feel as a hotel manager and what I'm doing every day, right? You guys understand it because you talk to thousands of hotel managers and owners and operators, that you understand their the way they run their business and what they're doing daily. And you get that, and thank you for having me be a brand advocate for your group, and I love sharing all these ideas that you guys are doing really cool things. So guys, if you want more information, definitely hit me up. I get credit for this. Yeah. TravelMediaGroup.com/Rupesh, and this is where all the services are. Enter your information in, and somebody will contact you within hours or within a day of helping you get social media to your hotel, because it's important for everybody these days, especially hotels, when there's a chance that the economy is going down. This is an opportunity for you to get out there and get your name out there and really kind of hopefully get get some business, right, from
share.
Your share. Yeah, the right share, and I love that. So Jason, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, Rupesh.
Anything else that we could talk about?
I don't know. I mean, we go back to pizza. I don't know, but I really appreciate it. This is like, I feel like I'm on the Today Show, the Rupesh Show. It's a big deal.
It's fun. Hey, Jason, thank you so much for coming on. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
Hey, we got to grab tacos soon.
Yes, we do. 100%. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys, what'd you think about this? Was this a great session as far as learning about social, learning the tools that you need, learning the content that you could be posting to drive more business to your hotel? Let us know. Hit the like, hit the comment. Thank you so much. Guys, share this post. Share this link. You can click on the top and hit share. Share this with your other people, your other GMs that you think would be finding this valuable, because I feel like social is like a thing that everybody can use, no matter what type of hotel you are. And let's talk to you next week. All right, guys, thank you so much to Travel Media Group for being a sponsor of this episode. If you need anything as far as digital marketing for hotels, hit travelmediagroup.com. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be here next Wednesday, where I bring on hotel rockstar Chip Rogers, and I'm super excited about that. So Chip is going to be explaining how he is doing big things at the American Hotel Lodging Association, and I am super happy to learn about what they're doing in the political space. So join me next Wednesday, and talk to you soon, guys. Thanks. Bye.